morning, everybody. Welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio here on Sonny's Shorts. And the reason why, guys, I get up early in the morning. I was up at 5:30 this morning, and actually earlier, 4:45 this morning. And so, but I also laid down a little bit earlier. Long day for Sonny yesterday out in the heat. But here we are today. And when I wake up, the first thing I do is I go to sports. I mean, come on. We do a sports show, of course. And sometimes I run across something where I ask myself, what the hell is someone thinking? And a lot of the times it comes from people that are respected. A lot of the times they come from places where you would say, well, okay, this makes sense. Guys, I have talked about this on the show for the last 3 months. And it seems like maybe someone's not paying attention. Not necessarily to me, but what people are saying, what people think. And I want to go to this article that I ran across this morning, and I just want to know, do people have illusions of grandeur, or they are just talking so much smack they believe what they are saying? By the way, I didn't want to use the word smack, but we'll kind of keep it PG-13 here. But I saw this morning as I was perusing the sports this morning, and I've been talking about this for 2 to 3 months, about Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks. Remember, they're in the NFC West along with the Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, and the LA Rams. Now, when I say those 3 names of those teams that are remaining within this division of football, knowing with what is going on in Seattle, especially at the quarterback position. Obviously, those that are living underneath a rock, Russell Wilson is now a Denver Bronco. Some major losses on the defensive side of the ball, but maybe a key pickup, I don't know, as far as that is concerned. We have to see how this works out. But I got to ask myself the question when I look at what gets put out. Is Pete Carroll who's he trying to fool right now? Geno Smith, Drew Lock, we're in good shape at that position? So my question, okay, maybe it's not a question, but I just got to say, you got to stop it. Since this offseason, since the departure of Russell Wilson, or for that matter, knowing about when the departure was obviously going to happen, what have the Seattle Seahawks done? What have they put together where you say, watch out for the Seattle Seahawks? And then you get the article that I saw this morning. They're in good shape. Pete Carroll, confident in Geno Smith and Drew Lock. We're in good shape for that position. My thinking is that I don't know who he's trying to fool. I really do. Is he trying to fool himself, the players, the organization, or is he just plain insane? Because I think I'm going to go with just plain insane. I have never really put myself out there as a football expert, okay? I watch a lot of football. I watch football every Sunday. I watch football mostly every Thursday, even as bad as the games are. And I know the Seattle Seahawks are in bad shape right now. It's Pete Carroll. So I want to know, as Bryce would say, does he need to get drug tested? Because when I read the article, I asked myself, are you crazy? Drew Lock coming from the Broncos, okay? Now, granted, I will give Drew Lock this, okay? He hasn't really had that much to really work with. Not that anything's going to happen better in Seattle right now. Geno Smith has proven that he is not an NFL quarterback, or at least starting. He's at best a third-string quarterback, and this is a team that want to promote this guy from a third-string quarterback to right now a first starting for the Seattle Seahawks in a division where you got two great quarterbacks. And yeah, I said it. Jimmy G is a great quarterback. You don't get on the verge of the playoffs for the last few years unless you're a damn good quarterback. Then you have it's Matthew Stafford. And then depending on what's going on in the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray and that love affair, if they're going to get back in love and start smooching, you're quite possibly the worst football team in this division. Now, granted, I get that you got to pump up your team. I get the fact you got to pump up your players. But can you get some sense of a dose of reality, Pete Carroll? Because right now, you do not have any reality that is actually stepping up. And I'm not saying Pete Carroll hasn't had his successes. I mean, goodness gracious, look what they have done since Pete Carroll and Russell Wilson were put together. They drafted him in 2012. And listen, this team has been a force within the NFC West for a long time, but that was with Russell Wilson. They got him in the third round as well, which normally you get these types of quarterbacks that are this good in the first round, maybe the second. But digging into the third round, and you got Russell Wilson doing what he's doing, 104 and 53 in one time. In that time. So think about this. That's 10 years. That's at least, on average, a 10-game winning season. 8 playoff appearances, made 2 Super Bowls, and won 1. Say whatever you want about the long term of that and 10 years. That's only getting to the Super Bowl 20% of the time and only winning it 10% of the time. But there are many teams out there that have not even, first of all, even been to the Super Bowl, never mind just win it. So this situation up in Carolina or up in Seattle makes you got to ask what happened? The love affair between Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, because this is not an organizational thing. Okay, they were willing to pay this guy all the money that they needed to as far as organizational is concerned. This is a Pete Carroll, the quote-unquote GM of that football team, why they could not get along. Now, over a stretch of 10 years, the player, such as a Russell Wilson, he expands his mental understanding of the game and puts himself in the position around 7-8 years that maybe I do know what I'm doing at the quarterback position. I can audible out. I can do this. And the trust is gone. How'd that trust go with what they've been doing over the years together? How did it just go away? It doesn't make very much sense, does it? Now, those that are not Seattle Seahawks fans know what, you probably just don't care, and I get that. But for Pete Carroll to move where he is right now, he wants to go with this. Now, guys, I'm not a mathematician, but these two, between the two of them, have not even won 50% of their games. You cannot tell me that a team where you are not averaging, and I say it all the time, that if you're going to be a damn good quarterback in this league, you got to throw for 225, 235 a game and 2 or 3 touchdowns a game. Minimum of 2, but if you're going to make 1, do something else. Now, Geno Smith has the capabilities of using his legs. Completely understand that. But when you're averaging 187, and this goes for Lamar Jackson as well, but Lamar Jackson gets W's. So you're able to look past the 187 passing yards because of what he can do with his legs, because of him being able to score at any time. Drew Lock, on the other hand, 214, not enough passing yards. Never mind the fact that we don't have the interceptions on this slate. These are the teams, these 2 quarterbacks lose the football a lot. Never mind, turn it over. Now, granted, Drew Lock's a little bit better in the touchdown interception ratio at 24-18 compared to 31-34 of Geno Smith. But this is not something that you live on or decide to take your team into a season with. What is Seattle doing? Does Pete Carroll? I'm going to go back to a couple of months ago. Does Pete Carroll care? Has he lost his mind? Or is his, and this is what I think, I don't think his heart is in it, going into this season without having a real quarterback. Now, whose fault is it that they don't have a real quarterback? That could be put on many people. But Baker Mayfield's out there. Jimmy G could have been gotten, but that's it within the division. So that was probably not going to happen. But there were opportunities in this offseason to get a decent quarterback besides Drew Lock, besides Geno Smith. This is nothing to go into the season about. And look at this, guys. Look at their schedule. You take outside the Broncos week number 1, this is brutal. Now, granted, you get a little reprieve with the Lions, but are the Falcons going to be improved? You don't know. Are the Saints going to be improved? You don't know. But week 6, Arizona Cardinals, 7, Chargers. You get a little break with the Giants, then you go back with the Cardinals. Then the Buccaneers. Then you're on the bye. And you come back, and it just gets even more brutal outside of the Panthers and Jets. So when you look at this, at best, and this is just off the top of my head, without diving into it, I don't know if you can call the Broncos a gimme win, because that defense is going to be all over those two, whether it's Geno Smith or Drew Lock. But if you look at Lions, if you want to call them wins, games they should win if you're good. Lions, Saints, Panthers, Jets. I see 4, maybe 5 games. How is that going to help you moving forward into the season? It's not. And the Seattle Seahawks are in a lot of trouble. And the fans, the 11th man and everything, this is going to be a tough year. This is going to be a tough year to swallow because you don't have that X factor. That X factor at the quarterback position makes the big difference on your football team. And when you don't have it, it stands out like the sore thumb. And guess what? They're going to be all over it. And the fact that they come in to this season and Pete Carroll saying what he's saying tells me a lot about who he is as a coach, which is right now, he is not into it. He has already set the bar that we're not going to be good. We're not going to be making the playoffs, and this is going to be a problem for the 2020 season. And that's what those statements make, especially when you make we're pretty good at this position, the most important position out on the football field, and you want to put out there Geno Smith or Drew Lock. Drew Lock has the most upscale going, but also remember, you got Metcalf right now is not signed. Okay, Carson at the running back position probably going to have to retire, depending on what you believe from some of the doctors saying that he might have to retire because of the neck surgery. Okay, so then you really got Penny in reality at the running back, and then the guy they got out of the second round, Walker. Okay, then add on the fact that Russ is gone. The Seattle Seahawks have a chance of making the playoffs or having a good season, as I am losing 50 pounds in the next year. It's just not going to happen, and that's where the Seattle Seahawks are. Join us on Sunday morning. For that being said, we will go on actually Sunday afternoon. We'll hit up at noon on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Check us out then. We'll talk more about this situation and more things within the NFL. We'll check you then. Have a good day. Bye-bye.